if you weren't embarrassed, if you weren't embarrassed by watching today's episode, if you weren't embarrassed, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well, because I'm definitely not. Okay, guys, I actually don't even have words, but there's a lot for us to discuss. If you watch today's episode, you know there's a lot for us to discuss. So as I usually always say, number one, before we get into that, a huge shout out to everyone who was in yesterday's live with the vibes. We had a really good time on live yesterday. That might have been one of my favorite lives ever. We had a great time. So shout out to everyone who was in that live, but a lot to discuss. So as I usually always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and join the family. Thank you. And also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahDestinyX and number 3. Get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. I don't even have a drink for you today, guys, because what's there to celebrate? Why am I drinking whilst we have a serious review to uncover today? Okay, but as for you, please get cozy and comfy. And let's get into today's review. So guys, let's start off with Mimii on the terrace, because what did I tell you guys in my review yesterday? I said, as it is in my eyes, Mimii is still on her knees. Lo and behold, guys, I'm sorry. You know, the first 10 minutes of tonight's episode, probably the most uncomfortable I have felt, okay, for a very long time. The secondhand embarrassment, not even embarrassment that I was experiencing, maybe I'm a contestant this year, because it's like my heart was in that villa. I said, Mimii, get up. Immediately get up. But anyway, you guys know Joey and I went to go and ask, and look, he was looking for Ayo, like, oh, where's Ayo? Went to go, when he finally did see Ayo, he went to go and ask Ayo if they can go for a walk. Ayo instantly noticed that, like, Joey's moving a bit, like, you're moving a bit weird, bro. Like, what exactly is it that you want to speak about? Cool. Joey now tells Ayo about the terrace, and Ayo straight away said, nah, I can't meet her there. Joey now comes say, you know, love is love, bro. Love is love. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Can everyone stop encouraging? Because I genuinely feel like, I'm not saying Mimii can't make up her own mind, she is a grown woman, but also on top of her confused thoughts, everyone else in that villa that is encouraging her to continue this nonsense is also mad. Everyone that is encouraging her to continue this embarrassment that we're witnessing in 4K is also mad as well. Cool. Al said he can't go upstairs to go and have a conversation. Now Jessy now asks, put that to the side, because now there's another conversation taking place with Jessy and also Josh. So Jessy and Josh are now having a conversation, and then, you know, she's just like, oh, like, how's your chat with Mimii? And he was like, yeah, like, it's cool, you know, like, I like the girl and everything, but you know what, I'm just gonna have to be vulnerable because obviously, like, I really like her. Jessy now says that she heard something from Matilda, aka what they spoke about yesterday, and it's also why I needed to tear Matilda and Sean's singlet, because, not trying to be funny, even when Matilda had that conversation with Jessy yesterday, that conversation didn't really yield to anything, because all you did was encourage the thoughts and the accusations and the thought and the think pieces of everyone in the villa of how, oh yeah, Josh and Mimii, Ayo and Mimii still like each other, blah blah blah. So now she's obviously telling Josh this. Josh is like, wait, what? Who told you that? She's like, obviously Matilda did. Mimii now goes, guys, back, come follow with me, okay, in this review, because we're going to be doing a lot of gospels back and forth. Mimii now comes out of the terrace. Ayo and Joey are now in the villa. So they're basically in the bedroom, you know, when there's that little, like, passageway. So they're in the corridor, the passageway. Mimii comes out of the terrace. Oh, God. I can't even finish my sentence. Mimii comes out of the terrace to the top of the hallway. She hears them having a conversation, and Ayo is saying, bro, I'm not going up there. Like, I'm not doing it. Mimii hears that conversation, and she still goes back to the terrace, sitting down on the floor, waiting for Ayomide to find her. Mimii, stand up. Stand up. Mimi's always still going to get my vote, regardless. But honestly speaking, even that, I just said, wait. So you can even hear him having a conversation with the same person that you told to go and fetch him, and you're still going back to that terrace. Obviously, Ayo said at the end of the day, she wants to talk. I can't talk on the terrace. She should meet me downstairs. We should basically go and meet and speak in private. Now, one thing I will say is I do have to definitely rate Ayo for how he handled the situation. I'll be honest with you, because even though I know he still has feelings for Mimii, sooner or later, this has to be deaded. But it's just a shame that Ayo is the one that's driving the boat. Mimii, you're letting Ayo drive the boat. I said, hey, yeah, it is well. It is actually so well. Now, of course, now, Jessica and Ayo now had a conversation because he now left Joey. Jessica and Ayo now had a conversation and she was crying, right? And guys, I won't lie, not saying I didn't feel for the tears. You get like, I'm an emotional person as well. I do love a good cry. But I genuinely have to blame Matilda, Sean, and every single person in that villa who constantly has just every opportunity spoken about, oh, you still have feelings for her? Oh, so that means feeling, because all this entire situation could have easily been avoided. And obviously, yeah, Ayo may be saying one thing to Jess, but if other people in the villa are basically telling me like, oh yeah, like they feel like you really like this girl, and obviously I just feel like I'm a placeholder, like I don't really understand. I understand why she's emotional. I would be emotional too. But obviously she was like, you know, I appreciate that, you know, some of you guys may be rooting for Mimii and stuff like that, but I just want to know exactly what it is. Ayo now completely tells her like, no, like he's completely done with the situation. So now at this point, Mimii has finally found her knees and she gets up and she walks downstairs. As she's walking down, Joey basically warns her like, oh, wait, just wait a second, because obviously like he's talking to Jessica and there's a conversation that's going on, so basically you should just wait. Now, while she walks off again, Josh and Joey are now having a conversation and Josh is like, bro, like, can I talk to you? Basically saying everything that Jessica told him and all the things that are going on with Mimii. And he was like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to keep hanging around. And I definitely get it, guys. I understand Mimi's feelings for Ayo aren't going to go away completely, but sooner or later you have to cut ties. Sooner or later, because everyone that you are trying to avoid hurting is just going to keep, everyone is just going to keep on getting hurt. Jessica, she's going to keep crying. Josh, he's going to continue being confused, like, what exactly is going on? Now, whilst Mimii is downstairs, Joey's like, bro, like, obviously, like, come on, I do. Guys, Ayo shouted from across the villa, that's dead, bro. If you do not flinch once in today's episode, secondhand embarrassment is scared of you. Because what was that? That's, no, bro, that's dead, bro. And this floor hasn't opened up to swallow me. I don't know what to tell you. I actually don't even know what to tell you. So obviously now, Ayo's now in the kitchen, you know, he's talking to everyone. Mimi's walking behind him and she's looking like a lost puppy. I'm not even gonna lie, she's looking like a lost puppy, you know, puppy, look at me. A lost puppy. And she's just lingering around and she's like, Ayo, like, do you wanna go for a chat? And I just thought, oh my God, she's still pulling this guy for a chat. What is there to speak about? What is there to speak about? Let me know in the comments what there is to speak about, because I don't know what there is to speak about. Okay. She now pulls him for a chat. They now end up going to one of the daybeds in the villa. Now, oh gosh, guys, there was just levels of embarrassment in today's episode. I'm so sorry. The first 10 minutes actually shook me. It genuinely shook me. So they're not having a conversation now. They're having a convo. And then I was literally just like, at the end of the day, like, Mimii, like, I'm happy with Jessica. Like, you know, like, I'm done with it. And Mimi's just like, no, Aya, listen to me though. But obviously, like, the feelings I have for you. When she said this line, it's like I could have just switched off the TV. She said, the feelings that I have for you, it's like, it's in a box and I put it to the side. But sometimes that box just keeps on knocking. Nah, this is not what I signed up for when I said I'm doing reviews. This is not what I signed up for. I said, gosh, she's still speaking. Can the producers mute this mic? Please, please, because we can't. Guys, my whole TL was cringing and I'm actually not surprised. I was pretty much clear as day and he literally said at the end of the day, like, I'm here for Jessica. I hear what you're saying and everything like that, but like, you know, it's kind of done and everything. So also at the end now, they get up now, he's like, we call, she's like, yeah, like, we're good. Mimii isn't good and she needs to be good, because honestly speaking, number one, this is the clearest that Ayo has been since the season started. Let's start there. But also number two, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3. That's the vibe is given. I don't know how many times Ayo needs to tell you that he doesn't want to pursue this. And I just want Mimii to just stand up with her head held high. Because guys, if the producers had aired what happened in the first 10 minutes of today's episode yesterday, Mimii and Josh would have 100% been, oh, sorry, spoiler alert, but they would have 100% received one of the lowest votes in terms of the 3 couples that were voted as being the least compatible. Because I know for a fact people would have wanted to send her home. But Mimii needs to stand up. How many times does this guy need to tell you that he doesn't want to be with you? And I understand it. Feelings are there. But guys, I'll be honest with you, feelings don't always equal common sense. Just because your heart feels something, everyone says, oh, follow your heart. No, follow your brain. Okay, you need to follow your brain. Following your heart will just leave you in situations like this, Mimii. But I do have to rate Ayo for just being very blunt and being very sensible with his response and just locking it off. Now nighttime comes, Kieran and Ayo are now having a conversation and Kieran's like, so what, like, did you edit? And then Ayo's just like, well, like, kind of, not exactly. And I'm thinking, no, you definitely did. Like, don't be encouraging other people that, because, oh my gosh, I just deeped it. Let me not skip the spoiler alert. I'll say this at the end, hopefully I remember it. But don't give other people in the villa the impression that you still want to get to know Mimii. Like, if you say you're locking it off with her, you're locking it off. Like, that's it. We're done. We're done with this storyline. We're completely done with it. But yeah, nothing else to discuss. That was nighttime, and it was the most traumatizing 10 minutes that we've seen this season. Okay, now let's move on to the following morning. They ended up getting a text that today was going to be the exclusive VIP party, aka the Towie party. I call it the Towie party because they get new cameras, the angles, the visuals. They really be giving, they really be eating for the VIP parties. Anyway, Jess Glynn was the performer. Guys, I loved what Jess Glynn, retail music on lock. H&M, they love a Jess Glynn. They love a Jess Glynn, and I love her too. Anyway, after her performance, she ended up announcing that there were 2 new bombshells who were entering the villa. In all honesty, were these bombshells necessary? Absolutely not. I'm going to get into both of them. Lola, aka Lola. Because now there's 2 lollies in the villa. There's Lola Day, and now there's Lola. So I think I'm going to call Lola Day, and Lola. Or should I just call her Lola? I think about it. Anyway, she's 22 from Surrey, and Harry is 25. He's an engineer from Birmingham. So obviously Joey greeted Lola, and he was just like, you know, when you just knew that Joey knew and I'm just thinking, how many people does Joey need to, like, it's an ick for you to know everyone and their mum and their sons and their bums. Like, why does Joey know every single person that comes to the villa? Oh, remind me, what's your name again? Lola. Oh, yeah. Joey, let's just be so for real right now. Anyway, we'll get into brief conversations. Harry was speaking to the girls. He said he's been single for 4 years. Lola was speaking to the guys. She was described as being a fizzy fang by Sean. I'm over them making Sean. It's almost like they allow everyone to be knighted by Sean as they enter this villa with the sweets comparison. We're actually okay. Then Joey was like, oh, like, do we know each other? And she was just like, no, like, we don't follow each other, but definitely on IG stories. And that didn't make any sense because you don't follow each other, well, allegedly they don't, but it doesn't make sense because how else would you see someone else on IG stories? Unless she didn't say that they follow each other, but something in that conversation was a bit weird, Sha. Anyway, the girls asked Lola if she knows Joey, but she said that she saw him on IG stories last year in Ibiza. The camera obviously panned to Grace because you guys know that Joey and Grace were actually a thing last year from Ibiza, so that's very interesting in itself. Lola said that Joey, so they basically asked her about, you know, what's the vibe that you're getting from people in the villa, like what exactly is going on, and Lola said that she feels like Joey and Jesse's energy is off, and also she feels like there's still something between Mimii and Ayo. Mimii now jumped in, and Mimii was just like, no, like, those feelings have been put to the side. And this is what I mean, like, her and Ayo have a way with their words, because put to the side, what does that mean? Can we put it out? Put to the side means it's still there. I can still reach. My feelings have been put to the side. Okay, but have you let go? These are serious questions that we need to be asking, okay? But also, it just let me know that the producers, I also feel like, are constantly really pushing this storyline with Mimii and Ayo, because what does a bombshell know, number one? And number two, why? I mean, like, oh yeah, I still feel like how many times is this information going to, it's just, the repetition is a bit too much now. I'm over the whole Mimii Ayo storyline, guys. I'm sorry of you. From today's episode onwards, I don't want to hear it. And I hope I don't have to review it any further. Now, of course, you know that, Lola ended up pulling Joey and Ruben for a chat. Not much, I didn't really write much notes there because they were just having a brief conversation. She said that she's half Spanish. Ruben obviously spoke to her in Spanish, and she said she really wants to get to know both of them because she likes them the most. And then Joey was like, obviously, like, I'm not close up with Jessy, and obviously, like, you know, if I, like, you're a gorgeous girl, you're a dick, like, you're the, and it's just I don't know why anyone in that villa has taken Joey seriously. Like, even since he's been with Jessy, I haven't even taken them seriously. And they've been together for now, what, 2 weeks? So, very interesting. If Joey does decide to turn, I won't be surprised. At the same time, Harry was speaking to Jessica and Grace. He said that he feels like with Jess, he can bring more out of her, that she has a really bubbly personality. And while she's with Ayo, he doesn't feel like that personality is coming out. And obviously, he was also saying as well that he is interested in Grace. Do I think any of them are... I don't know if Grace will go for Harry. I don't know if that's her type, if you know what I mean. No shade, but I also don't see Jess turning for Harry. Like, she's gonna stick by her man, and that man is Ayo. Okay, now of course, next scene was Jess speaking to Grace about how the conversations that everyone keeps having about Mimii and Ayo is really bothering her, and everyone keeps bringing it up and is really getting on her nerves. And of course, Grace was like, at the end of the day, like, you know, clearly there may still be something there, and you just need to, like, you know, you need to speak to Mimii. And she was like, yeah, I really want to speak to Mimii, but obviously at the same time, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't really know what she's gonna say. And then Grace was just like, no, you need to pull me in for a chat. Now you need to deep that the Casa girl is pulling the OG girl for a chat. I hope Mimii woke up in today's episode, guys. I'm not even joking. Jess is pulling Mimii for a chat. Does that even make any sense? No, guys, is this a skit? Does this storyline make any sense whatsoever? Anyway, they ended up having a chat. Mimii, for me, was speaking in riddles again. And I just felt like, if this episode didn't shake her, then I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. But Mimii was just like, obviously, you know, back from Casa, we didn't really have a chat that, obviously, feelings are there. We didn't really have a deep chat and conversation. But obviously, we don't know if, you know, we should take a leap of faith, or because obviously there's other people. What do you mean a leap of faith for what? A leap of faith with Ayo? Mimii? I haven't torn your okay, I torn your singlet once, maybe a review or two ago. But it was a gentle rip. This one today, I had to tear it. Cause what? What do you mean by that? Oh yeah, like obviously we're trying to, obviously for other people, like obviously there's you, there's Josh. Is it closed off or is it not? And at this point, I don't know why it would be anything but closed off, guys. She was like, oh, obviously, like, it's hard to set boundaries, and maybe, am I just being really blunt with this? Because I don't know, guys. Let me know down below. Let me know, because I just don't even know. Obviously, we know my Gemini ended up coming in to end the party, and she announced that, obviously, the public have been voting for their most compatible couples, and announced that Nicole and Kieran got the most votes. I didn't really tell you guys that Nicole and Kieran are winning Love Island. I hope you know that. We're literally 5 weeks in, and they seem to be the only solid couple, even with their continuous arguments with one another. She also revealed that there were 3 couples who were voted the least compatible. First was Lolly and Lolade, sorry, and Connor, which I was actually quite gutted at. Don't get me wrong, I know they're kind of not boring per se because you don't really see much of them, but they don't bother anyone. So maybe that's why they receive low votes, because people don't see them, they don't feel the need to vote for them. And then Grace and Ruben, no surprise there, and Jess and Ayo. Now, of course, when Jess and Ayo were announced, the camera, as always, panned to Mimii. I don't even want to see Mimii shed a tear, like, because maybe Jess and Ayo physically need to be removed from that villa in order for this storyline to end. Because someone even commented on one of my tweets saying that knowing Mimii, she's going to try and pull Ayo for a chat on the outside. I don't know, but obviously there was a cheeky plot twist at the end in which the Islanders wouldn't be, the public and also the Islanders wouldn't, the public and also the Islanders won't be the ones to decide who ends up going home, because a couple is going home. It will actually be left in the hands of the most compatible couple, aka Nicole and Kieran. Now, back to what I said in the beginning that I said I wanted to bring back at the end. Because Ayo wasn't really straight up with Kieran that he locked things off with Mimii. I really hope Kieran doesn't keep Ayo and Jess in the villa because he still thinks Ayo wants to get to know Mimii, or still wants to see if there's a connection there. I really hope that's not the case. But I do feel like they are likely to send home, maybe, I don't know, guys. Who do you think they're going to send home? I'm torn between Lolade and Connor and Grace and Ruben. I don't think they're going to send home Jess and Ayo, you know. If they do, it'll be great, but I don't know if I feel like they do. So let me know down below who you think that they're going to send home. But guys, honestly, that's the end of today's review. Generally speaking, it was the first 10 minutes, it was hard to continue the episode, I'll be honest with you, because it's almost like the producers, the cuts, just the first 10 minutes compared to the last, 40? Guys, my brain was still trying to recover from what we witnessed in the first 10 minutes, I won't lie. But guys, I've given you all my thoughts. I have nothing else to say about this situation. I'm embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed, I'll be honest with you. And that's where I have to end today's review. But as I usually and always say, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahLacingX. And number 3, please get cozy. No, not please get cozy. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless you. Thank you for your support, and I shall see you tomorrow.